Hello crafty friends, it's Courtney Brickner, the CV behind the Crafty Brick. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am very excited you're here with me today because I want to share a little embroidery journey project with you. Had some highs and some lows. I've been embroidering with my Chroma EM1010 for about 4 months now. I'm not really good at digitizing, so I was trying out a new project because a friend wanted a sweatshirt that looked kind of like this. And I wasn't quite sure how to do it, but I thought I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see if I can digitize this and see how it goes. So come with me on this little project to see how I created the file and did the warping that she wanted. She wanted it very specific. So that's what I did. So let me take you on this journey with me. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn notifications so that you don't miss anything crafty. But let's jump into the computer and get started.
The first thing I did was take a varsity font, and she didn't really like how wide those letters were. She wanted them a little bit thinner. So I just pushed them a little bit closer together, made them a little bit taller so they could be skinnier. And then I just come down to this window panel to access my warp tools. And then I take the points in the middle, bring them up a little bit so that I can have more of an arch. And then I bring down the sides a little bit more to increase the arch just a tad bit more. And I really just played around with moving different points to get it to be the arch that I wanted and that I thought was going to look similar to the design that she sent me and had in mind. So then I came down here because she wanted to have the year in an oval, but there isn't an oval in Leonardo Design Studio. So I just took a rectangle and then I took a couple circles down here at the bottom, added that shape, made it so that it was lined up with the rectangle at the end. And that is going to give us that oval shape. So I just played around with the sizing, made it a little bit bigger so that it lined up exactly with the edges of the oval or of the rectangle. And then I just did a duplicate. So I copied and pasted and made a second circle on the other side so that I could have the full oval. I zoomed in a little bit just so I could see because it was hard to see in the full version, seeing the details of that rectangle. But once I got that all situated, I did the copy and paste and then did on the same thing on the other end. Then once I got this oval so that it was lined up with the top and the bottom, then I can go and make it kind of a little bit thicker the way that I want. So I group them all together. I go down to the weld button, those two squares at the bottom. Then when they're welded together, I can move them all as one unit, and then I can make it a little bit taller and squeeze it closer together to make it a little bit smaller as well. And then I'm going to group them all together. Then I'll go ahead and add more text. I'll go back and use my varsity font and I'll add the 2026. I will make it a little bit smaller, change the color first so that I can actually see the, since they're both black, I can't really see which one's in the front and the back. So just change the color. I'll change that to white because we're doing that cardinal red of the Stanford colors, and the white will be the 2026. So once I get those all into place, I'm going to add a white background. So I want to go up here to the artboard and change it to the dark background so that I'll be able to see the border, the white border. And I want to change the letters just a little bit. So I'm going to highlight the chemistry and I'm going to ungroup them. And I'm going to go into my warp tools because she didn't like that the H's, the legs of the H's were a little bit too close together when the border got on it. So I can just change the letters just a little bit with my warp tools and change how wide apart the spaces are on the H's. So I can just use this feature to move the points a little bit and place them where I want, and then I can group them all together and add the border. I'm going to come down here to the two squares and group them all together. Then I'm going to go to the star and create an editable contour and create a sharp corner and include the holes. and just make it thick enough that I like, and then click apply. And we'll go over here and change this to white because we're doing the white border with the red words. And then we are ready to save it as an SVG file so that I'll be able to open it in my Chroma software. So I'm just going to save it as chemistry test, save it in Leonardo, and then we will go and open up Chroma. And then I will open a new file and find the file here in Leonardo where I just saved it. Let's see, where are we? We click Leonardo, open up the file, it opens up in Chroma, and then we're going to highlight the whole thing and click the A button up here at the top left and click yes to auto digitize it. So this is what it looks like when it's been digitized. We're going to go up here to this little box and we'll see it in 3D. And now we can see exactly what it will look like digitized. And when we go up here to print preview, let's see, we can zoom in a little bit. We go up here to print preview, and then we'll see the run sheet. So things are looking pretty good now. I'm gonna go ahead and save this to my external drive and bring it over to my machine and see how this works out and do a little test run.
Unfortunately, this is what we got.
To be honest, I really thought things were going very well. It was doing the outline. It was all looking really good. Everything was working on the machine. And then it started to do the inside and it was coming over the outlines.
So it really wasn't working out so great. So what I decided to do was to reach out to ZDigitizing and see if they could help me create this digitized file. Oh my gosh, I sent them an email at 11:30 p.m. and I didn't see it at the time, but when I woke up the next morning, I had a digitized file. They sent it 2 hours later. It's amazing. And it was really good. So I thought, okay, let me test it out, make sure that it's good. It was perfect. So then I was able to move on, create the sweatshirt that my friend wanted, and it turned out so good. So
first things first, I got my Mighty Hoops Hoop Master. I open these tabs so that I can secure my stabilizer into place. I put on the bottom hoop, and then I put my stabilizer on and lock the tabs, just flip them over, and the magnet keeps them into place so that when I put my sweatshirt on, the stabilizer doesn't move all around. Oh my gosh, this makes it so much easier because, you know, when you're doing the regular hoop, it's hard to see where that stabilizer is and make sure that it's in place and exactly where it needs to be. So I use this, I line it up with that line up at the neck, and then I take the top of the hoop and just snap it into place with the magnet. I pull it out and then the stabilizer is all in place where it needs to be. And then I'm ready to hoop it onto my machine. This one was a little bit thicker. The hood was kind of getting pushed into place and preventing it from locking into the right spot. But I got it all figured out. Then I traced the design. I wanted it to be a little bit closer to the neckline, so I moved it up a little bit and just made sure that it was in the right location. And then it started. So when it actually did the real digitizing, it did the inside first and then the outline. I think maybe I just didn't know how to set it up in Chroma and change the order of the operations that it was doing, but it really needed to have the outline going second so that the inside wasn't like infringing and sewing over that outline. But it all turned out great. I love how this sweatshirt turned out, and the machine worked perfectly, and ZDigitizing helped me out when I needed a little extra help with my digitizing process. Then I used the fold down table that I made and was able to set my material on there and remove the back stabilizer from it, get all the excess so it wasn't like too much on there. So once I got that all done, I got to admire my beautiful creation that worked out so great.
So here is the finished hoodie. It looks so good. Stanford-esque college college text. So it's just like she wanted. It's just like she wanted. I'm so happy with the way it turned out. It was, like I said, a little bumpy road to get here, but we managed, thanks to ZDigitizing, I was able to get this digitized and it looks great. If you want more information on my machine that I use, ZDigitizing, Leonardo Design Studio, any of that information, check the link below in the description and all the information will be there. Thank you so much for being here with me today and walking through this process with me. I'm so happy that it turned out okay. Like I said, I only had one, so it was a little touch and go there. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications so that you don't miss anything crafty, because I will be back next week with more crafty content. And until then, stay crafty, my friends. Bye.